I like it. Now, I understand that we are. There we go. Got YouTube.
Good. Hey, Mr. Who, how you doing? Lilia, this is a watching party. We got Mrs. Chris, we got everybody here. It's a part of life. God's plan is not to keep us away from pain. Okay. Okay, and why would you say that? Why is pain? Why is God not keeping us away from pain? Hello, nothing. Everything's good, Mr. Hool. Is it Mr.? I mean, I can't really see because it's pretty here. Let me go up on Facebook. I'll be able to see that better too. Okay, we are live, so I'm going to open that up on here. I gotta share this thing on like ever. Mr. Brett Allman, the man, the legend, is on right now. Now I can't hear you, Mr. We're sorting out how we're gonna be able to invite people on here. So it might be a pre-recorded thing, and then I just sum it up, and then it'll all be good that way. So let's open you up here and share that. Okay. Yeah. Opportunity to grow. Pain reveals our heart. Yes, yes. But pain is an opportunity to grow, to change. Ooh, that's heavy. Mr. Guillaume Caron. Okay. Okay, I'm going to share this to a page. There we go. I want to share that to. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. Don't worry, I read all the comments and I try to interact with them. I also just, good news, I have a wicked line of guests coming to this podcast. I've been fortunate enough to know some pretty cool people, and they have all agreed to be a part of this podcast in this time of quarantine. I think partly because, well, they're quarantined, and secondly because, well, they got nothing else better to do. So why not hang out and roast Shawn or whatever, and we'll sort that out. I don't know. Be my guest again. If you have like subject matter you think you'd like me to talk about or whatever, or at least kind of intro it, you can either do it on the comment section and I can save it for later, or you can just you can hit me up later on the is that one better? No. Is that one the best one? Sorry. We're just trying to here it is. Okay, and that's a little high on the hum. And there we go. Okay, good. So yeah, if you got subjects that you'd like to chat about, I'm down to chat about literally whatever. Right now we're talking about, is pain necessary? Some of the responses we've already had. Oh my gosh, my battery's like already dying. Gotta be kidding me. Too much. So at some point the audio will not be very good because I'll be charging my phone to continue on. Okay, pain has a way to remove the frame that we put around the understanding of who God is. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. But some pain remain because of our decision. It's a large topic. Yeah, for sure. So we got tons of things to talk about. I think pain is necessary. So without further ado, let me just say this before I dive in, because I feel like it's going to be an ongoing thing today. And it allows God to be bigger than you made him. Oh yeah, come on, preach it on. My name's Shawn. If you're just joining for the first time, but you shouldn't be, because you're my friend. So on Facebook, at least whatever that Facebook kind of algorithm says. And I'm dealing with pain. Matthew Haddad, I mean, you have dealt with pain in your life. I know that. If you'd like to share, you can please share. Matthew is a good friend of mine. And he owes me because I hooked him up with a contract. So that he probably can't work out right now. But it is what it is, right? Nonetheless. You can see there's a link there. And if you want to help the work go further with the youth that I do work with, we do have online stuff already coming out, the windows and all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty fun. Again, if you have kids, families, all those things, we are going to do like a crazy half hour of ridiculousness coming up on Wednesday at 10:30. Yes, and we will get started at 10:30. So I'll probably start the live feed around 10:20. Tell you what you need to bring. I'll already put that in the post, but you'll be there for that. Okay, good. Let's get back to what was being said so far about pain. Pain is necessary for human advancement. If we don't have pain, we don't understand problem. Pain is something that it produces problems, which if you're a person like me, then when you see problems, you're trying to find solutions. And so without pain, we have no directive. Like my son, for example, right? we were out. I had the deep fryer outside, like, because my wife doesn't like the smell of oil in the house, but now she has to deal with it because we're quarantined. Hey yo, and not that I'm not going outside, but I use it as an excuse. Okay. But he was outside. I said, "Yo, Ezra, do not touch this. It is hot." He had no idea what that even meant. Apparently, at this point in time, and I like went away for a second. Like he wasn't even anywhere near. Like he shouldn't even have looked at it. Maybe if I hadn't said anything, he wouldn't have gotten near it. But he definitely went near it. Hear the scream, and he touched the oil, and he burnt his finger quite nicely. And since then, Ezra doesn't ever go near the deep fryer unless, hey, I'm there, or the situation, I guess, requires it. But he hasn't had to go near oil anymore since then. So I think it's been a pretty good deal. I think pain is it gets a bad rap, and it gets a bad rap because, well, one, it sucks. Pain sucks, and that's why it's painful. Like, I mean, we do learn through pain, yes. And I am a what you call an experiential learner. I'm not a theory learner. Um, and Samuel Kenga, you just messaged me, so you're gonna have to do that through iMessenger because I cannot check my text messages right now. Um, but yeah, I think pain is good to the extent that it. What do you put here? Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the earth and the nations. Yes, for sure. Come on now. Um, Pain is what produces. Without pain there is no gain. So like we've heard that statement, but what does that actually look like? Well, see, my wife just had our baby about a year and a half ago. She had to go through pain. Without that, we did not gain the life that is now running amok in my house right now, because he's 1.5 and he thinks he's boss. I also don't believe that pain is just in your head. Pain is a part of every move. It is a part of the human existence. And so we're not going to get away from it. So we have to learn how to deal with it. What is our coping mechanism? How do we deal? Some people deal with drugs. Some people deal with booze. Some people with sex. Some people with relationships. Some people with spending money. Like, I mean, that literally, legitimately, that's how people deal with pain. But the only way that it gets dealt with is if you actually go to the source of the pain, which is kind of interesting. That you can try and a lot of people try to take their pain that they have and they try to alleviate it with external external things. Um, for myself, like when I get mad at my wife and there's some kind of issue there, what do? I go buy stuff. Like legitimately, I want to buy fishing. I'll go buy fishing stuff and I'll be here, there, take it, ha. But really, what's happened is I'm hurting inside, and the only way that I'm going to get redemption out of this pain is if I go to my wife, and that's how then this will all get solved. The pain will be dealt with, and I can say that then the truth comes out, and or whatever the issue is, and we can work at it. Likewise with surgery, like surgery, if is not is probably the greatest parallel to pain and the human condition. I've had many surgeries. I think this is my most recent surgery right there. Yeah, that guy. I got liposuction. At least that's what I call it. I don't have very much fat on my body anywhere really, and but I had these two lumps on my body, and when I went to get them checked, obviously I was afraid. I thought the big C word was coming, but it was not the C word that I got. The word that I got was, "Sir, those are two fatty corpuscles." And I was like, "How dare you? How dare you say fatty corpuscle around me? I do not have a fatty corpuscle." She's like, "Right, you don't have one, you have two." I was like, ugh. And I said, "So what can we do?" She's like, "You can just leave it, or you can get them taken out." I'm like, "Take them out. They don't need to be there. Let's take them out." So I got a nice, what looks like a gunshot wound in my back, and I have that one on my wrist that you see. And they opened it up and they just pulled it out. Now I could have left it there, but it was actually causing me pain. Like if I tried to roll out my back with my roller, it would hurt. If I tried to put on like wraps for my back, good. Yes, check that out with that book. I haven't seen it. I don't know. It's coming from Alain Martino, and he is, just by judging from his beard, he's a good reader, because I heard every book you read grows 1 inch on your beard. So he has read a lot of books, And then when you get to this like top level of about like 15 books and you have a 15-inch beard, then every book you read after that starts to turn the color of the beard to a white. So eventually you end up like Gandalf. That is what I've heard. Um, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happens, but you guys tell me. I'm not sure on that one. Salut, Alex. And okay, so back to this thing. So I had these surgeries, and she's like, and I was having pain from just rolling out. I was like, well, let's take these out. So I go to the place, and I she cuts it open, and yeah, I get this. They show these two like they're like it honestly looked like butter with a little bit of blood in it. Kind of gross. I wouldn't eat it, but I was still interested in it nonetheless. And so I left, whatever. But what happened was that she tightened it way too tight, and I didn't have like extra skin, and because of that, I went right back to the gym because that's what I'm a crazy guy like that. I went to the gym like she's like, wait at least a week. I'm like, you crazy, you crazy. You don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something soon. How you doing, Jason? How you doing? And so I went back and sorry, I went to the gym and I popped it right open. Next day, started bleeding out all over. And so I went to the doctor, and the doctor's like, well, at least you're not going to be a wrist model. That is the bad news I have for you, but it'll be fine. So I am no longer a wrist model. I am now a scar guy, and it's not the only scar I have. But my question, I guess, as I keep talking here, um, pain. I believe pain is necessary, and so if there's someone out there who doesn't think pain is necessary, tell me why. I'd love to know your reasoning behind why you don't think pain is necessary. I think pain is definitely acceptable. It's part of what makes you better. Um, in the metaphysical sense, in the relational sense, in the physical sense. I had what is it? I've had knee surgery. I've had ankle surgery. I've had ear surgery. Have I anything else? I don't know. Did I have anything else? Uh, no, I didn't have to have wrist surgery. They just had to put the wrist back in place, so that doesn't count. But I really believe that as you go through pain, one thing you do understand from pain is how good things were before. Because I think that's something we don't understand. And right now with the coronavirus, as it's rampaging across the world, we're finding out that how good things were as opposed to how good things are, how bad things are now. So we like without this pain, without this whole thing and this restriction of our movement as humans and this growing, we are now stuck, and we don't realize the pain. The pain that we're experiencing now is revealing to us what was happening in the past was actually very good. The amount of the movement that we had, the freedom we had to move, the availability of shopping, the availability of food, the availability of, yes, even again, I know it's been written in bazillion times, but of toilet paper. Those things showed us that, hey, with pain showed us that that was good. And now we have to readapt. So we're talking about that new normal that's coming. And why does my connection keep messing up like that? Merci, Alex. Um, And so, yeah, I don't know what you think on that, where you're at on that, but if you want to let me know, holla at me. And tonight I'm going to end off with a hilarious story about the toilet. So please let me know. Let me talk to you about the toilet. Okay. Is it messing up for you guys like that? Yeah. All right. Nate. How you doing, Nate? Um, I hope you like my joke about Gandalf, by the way. We got somebody tuning in. But yeah, so I'm like my son, Ezra, when he was first born, had to go into the ICQ, the ICU, intensive care unit, ICU for babies, and in order to help him breathe, he would have to go through some pain, and nothing worse than watching your, you know, 12-hour-old baby go through pain. And I'm not laughing because of my baby went through pain. I'm actually laughing because of that. Thank you for disrupting my train of thought. It's okay though. Still love you, bro. And this pain process uh, that he was going through was like horrible to watch. But I knew that it was necessary for him to uh, get better, or at least have the opportunity to get better. Now, my second son, Emmanuel, didn't have as many issues, but Ezekiel had some real breathing issues 3 times now. But the first time was the scariest because he was young, and he got a cold and like a flu type of, not a flu, but like an pneumonia type of thing, and his lungs began to fill up a little bit. So when you're that small, it's extra bad. So they had to like flush his nose all the time, and because that was the only thing they do. He was so small, like he was so new that you couldn't give him drugs or anything to help him calm him down. At some point, they actually had to give him fentanyl, which is a drug that helps you sleep, and it still wasn't working. But they would come by like I don't know, every hour and a half, whatever, and they would like flush his nose, and it would be this pain, and he would be screaming at me, and then we would change his mask because it would develop a sore under his nose, or then put on his mouth, and oh man. And watching someone go through that kind of pain, watching that happen, personally, it's obviously gut wrenching because it's your child. For me, it's my kid. But to watch anybody that's a loved one go through pain, that's always a rough thing to do. And yeah, so one of those things that can, what really kind of brought it back for me is that every time that he's not there, I just see that it's good. It, we can take things for granted that we have all the time, that we have access to all the time, and the moment it gets taken away from us is when we realize how good it was to have it, right? So, like my son just going through the night and just being chill all night long, breathing just good. Before I used to never really like take that in consideration, but now like I literally almost every time before I go to bed, I go check up on all of my kids, give them each a kiss, and then go to bed, right? And what I do, I always check their breathing, not just to see if they're alive, but to hear the sound of clear breathing, just because the minute I can hear that that breathing is off, then I know that they, friends, are not doing well, or their storm is coming, and and the pain is very necessary because without it, we wouldn't learn that things are hot. We wouldn't learn that things are cold, and like even pain, there's slow pain and fast pain. Like I mean, particularly between hot and cold, right? If you touch something hot, like super hot, you burn. I guess essentially it can be the same thing if you touch something super cold. But I feel like if something's kind of warm, your body will adapt. So it's kind of a hard thing to do. But when it's kind of cold and it just stays kind of cold, oof, Lord have mercy, does it ever get cold? How you doing, Mrs. Christy Dons? You doing good? Can't wait to get up there and fishing. Let me tell you that right now. But so, what are some of the things that you guys have gone through with pain that maybe today would help somebody? Bonne nuit, Alexandre. Um, that would would help someone in my circle, because I've been getting a lot of messages lately on my Facebook feed, like in my inbox and my Facebook Messenger, about people who are watching this stuff. But yeah, I know it was off topic, Christy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But here, you want to know what kind of pain I have? Yeah, I'll show you that. Okay, but I do have some pain that's fish related. You want to hear that? My the boat that I bought a while, like, well, this year I bought a new boat. Not brand new, but I bought a boat. We're gonna talk about money tomorrow, so you guys can hear how this one works. Pretty cool. But the windshield broke, and I ordered it for my boat to get repaired from this place, Marina. They were gonna sort it all out. It was great, but they told me it was gonna take like 8 to 12 weeks, which was fine because it was in the middle of winter. Um, but when I got an email about, I don't know, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, saying that they ordered the wrong side. And then all this news came out. I'm like, now I can't even use my boat. This is useless. How you doing, Mitch? We're talking about suffering and pain. Is it necessary? And if so, why? And if not, why? is my kind of question. But I'm going to answer a question here for Christy. Christy, I have just like, these are kind of just like show reels, so nothing special. They're just there because I like to see them. Most of my rods are actually in the other room behind my what's it called? Like there'll be like a little storage room behind the where the laundry happens and all that stuff. But currently behind me, I have what used to be a 7-foot medium heavy, which is now a 6'10" medium heavy because this tip got broken off by my son Ezra. So I've had to modify it, and now and then I have a on this one I actually have like a 19. I don't know, is it like 2000 Quantum? It's an old piece of junk, but it still goes. So I don't need to replace it. I saw this reel on. It is, you would know what well-being. Yes, exactly. You wouldn't know what well-being is without it. Victor Frank has a good break. Fishing Z's. Don't even worry, but we're not even talking about fishing. Someone asked me a fishing question there, Adam. And this was on Amazon, and I just like, it was $50, and I was like, well, let's go try it to see if it is decent or not. And it's called a torrent, and so I'm gonna give it a bit of a review to myself to know if that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, so the audio will like change shortly to not good because I need to charge my phone. I got 10% on it, but I'll be able to hear y'all what's going on. Okay, here we go. All right. Close. We're going to charge you up just a bit. Out of the way. There we go. I got to charge this phone up. Yes. Should be charging. I hope it's charging. Yeah, usually I have only, usually I rock Abu Garcia. Trust. Yes, I'm trusting. 7771. Good. We're trusting. Yeah, it's Abu Garcia. I use, like, they're just cheap, cheaper. So my other stuff is Abu Garcia. I have a KVD Quantum over there, but most stuff Abu Garcia. Really, whatever's on sale at Canadian Tire, I would have done that without it. But would we know the depth of joy without suffering? No, we wouldn't understand it. Without the highs and lows, you don't know how high the mountain is until you've been in the valley. Woo! That's gonna preach. But yeah, I don't think that you would even hear that. You wouldn't even get that. So, also, can you guys still hear me? Because I'm not sure if you can or not. Because I definitely had to put my phone into the charging station. Yeah. I mean, we've all had pretty rough stories. I'm sure if I asked any one of you, you guys could tell me a story that was rough. And what did you learn from it, right? Thanks, Mitch. I mean, what did you learn from it? I've learned that now I can plan differently, so I can avoid pain that I've already experienced. And then also it gives me the ease in pain. Does that make sense? Like I know pain is coming, so I can take it just a bit differently. Does that make sense or no? Because I don't know about you, but like when I have pain, and I see it coming, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it through this. Usually it happens in the gym because I really don't like being there unless it's like Olympic lifting day or upper body day. Mostly to do with lower body day, not a good deal for me. Ugh. Starting to enjoy it. Okay, we connect one to another through suffering. Shared suffering is powerful. We can empathize and support others more efficiently. Yeah, take Tylenol before pain. Hey, is that like Tylenol with codeine or? Oh man, my nose is big. Yeah, I believe that totally. Suffering together, I think it grows closeness, right? Uh, it can also have an opposite effect. I think sometimes we see when couples have issues with children, and if a child dies, sometimes that can tear a family apart pretty drastically. Um, but there's a working process, I guess, through with pain, and sometimes we're the cause of our own pain. I don't know. I'm always wondering, like, there's people out in this world, and their life is actually dangerous because they don't have a sense of pain. They actually they don't have the message that sends to the brain that something is broken or hurt or bleeding or something. They don't have that pain, that sense, and so it's actually dangerous for them to go around because they could actually be walking on a broken leg and not know. Could you imagine how many times you'd have to get checked up if that is the case? And pain is something that we don't want anyone to ever go through, like ever go through, unless you're a vindictive type. But yet, out of pain, some some of the most incredible things have been made, created, brought forth, thought about, and have made incredible changes. Um, Through pain, some people's destinies are birthed. Like my aunt she's a missionary, which means she works for like she's a global missionary. So in her work that she does, she also brings the a gospel element. And Chris, you probably know my aunt Debbie Surgison. And Aunt Debbie is out in Ethiopia, if I'm not mistaken, in Addis Ababa, which I'm not sure if that's how I say it correctly, but it is that. And her mission was birthed out of other people's pain. So what happens a lot of times in third world countries is when women have babies uh, down there, need some work, needs some fixing, and they don't have that afforded to them, and so it's really difficult for them to hold their urine, like they can't hold their pee, and so my aunt actually developed a yes, Kana, there you go, and she uh, she has developed a place where women can come. And so, sorry, so I should back up a bit. So after that, after they don't have after they have that problem of not being able to hold their urine, it's called incontinence. They often get left by their husbands because that's what they do. And so she provides this surgery. She to help women be repaired out of this pain. So now their child is not a result of their husband leaving, which I think is, I mean, it's also obviously a cultural thing. I think that's just ridiculous, but it is what it is. And because of that pain comes out of this thing. And my aunt is not only a missionary, so she works for the church. She works off donations. You can go check her out. Her name is Debbie Surgison from Turkana. If you want to put some money into there, go right ahead. You put it. That is some good money to put money into. I'll tell you that right now, because it's reaching people, it's changing lives 100%. There is no wasted bacon in that one. I'll tell you that. Um, but what's really interesting is that not only has she provided this mission, but she's also provided jobs. 36 people are employed under her because of this medical care center. And not only that, she runs courses for people to start their own um, micro businesses through farming, which is absolutely crazy. Like how people buy their first pairs of chickens or animals and then begin the art of husbandry, which is just producing other animals and then taking them to market and that kind of a thing. Which for you and I here in the West, we don't get that. We don't understand that. We're worried about three meals a day, our lights being on, and making sure Netflix is still working. And how are they going to come up with new series during this coronavirus? Which the answer is they're not. So get ready to rewatch some stuff, which is good for you. Because I remember rewatching movies all the time. I used to know almost all of the Disney movies up until Pocahontas off by heart, and I didn't even realize the stories that they were telling me, and a lot of those stories deal with pain. I mean, Simba loses his father, but that's pushes him into his destiny. He takes a roundabout way, but that pushes him into his destiny. Um, Ariel has to separate herself from her father so that her father isn't her uh, her leader, or her like she has to separate from her youth and become this other thing. And she's moving from being, just a princess to being a queen, which a lot of people don't get. The only thing is that she's becoming human, but it's just she's becoming a queen. Woo! That'll preach. That'll preach. Okay, before I get off. Okay, so back this, and then you got uh, you have what's it called? The Rescuers Down Under. And if you haven't seen that movie, that's one of my favorites. I think it's a very underrated movie. And it's about a boy. He gets like he helps this he helps these animals get out from this poacher, and it's an incredible story for Disney. But it's not preaching at you, just telling you about how we can grow, and anybody can do something if they just step to it. So I'm a big believer of pain. I'm a big believer that it's part of what's happening. I'm like currently I'm feeling some pain. Not that I don't want you guys all to be like, oh, Shawn's feeling pain. No, 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 no. But yes, I'm feeling pain. But don't worry about it, because the one thing and that's where my faith comes in. I know that pain is a part there, and that's why it can be a struggle for people who don't have faith to deal with their pain. But since in my pain, okay, I know that it's only for a time, and the scriptures tell, like the Bible will tell me that I won't be presented with more pain than I can bear. Now, as I believe I'm going to heaven when I die, so if I die, it's a step up, it's a promotion. So that I don't fear. What I fear most, I don't actually fear dying. What I fear most is leaving my children, leaving my wife. That's what I fear most. Because I being a worker in youth, the thing that I see most prolific is absent parents. So a lot of times fathers take the rap because mostly absenteeism is from the father, but absent mothers as well, absent parents, or what the term has been called toxic mother, or just toxic person. So if you don't have a good mom and you have a bad dad, whatever, those things cause problems. Like you're 10 times more likely to go to prison if you don't have a father. I don't want that for my kids. I want to be there for my kids to the point that I know, because like my job is shifted, right? So in my pain, I'm trying to show my son, I'm letting him learn pain. Like today, I gave my son a pain. He got a pain. What's the word? A pain lesson. And by that, I mean, so I gave my son two choices. I had two. I have two. Well, three. I have three boys. I gave my two older ones a choice. I said, okay, it's time for shower time to go to bed. I said, okay, you guys can make a choice. You can either play 10 more minutes of video game, do your shower, and then go to bed. Or you can do your shower now, go to bed, and we'll watch a couple of comics in bed. But you make the choice, and then we'll go from there. My son, my oldest son, was like, let's watch comics in bed, because I like made him like a fort, like a tent bed kind of a deal. So he's got like, I just put blankets around his bunk bed. That's what I did. So he was cool with that, and I was cool with that. So all right, let's do that. And then my second son, Emmanuel, was like, I'm gonna play 10 more minutes of video games and then I'm gonna have a shower. So okay, you want to do that 10 more minutes and then have a shower. I'm cool with that. I filmed it so he could see it. He knew I was serious, and I filmed him saying it. So I filmed him saying it. He goes to the shower, and he comes out of the shower, like we wash his hair, whatever. And he comes out of the shower, and he's going to bed. And then he's like, he tries to jump into bed to watch the comics. I said, Manuel, what are you doing? You don't get to watch the comics. He's like, but Dad, I'm like, no, you chose to go and play more video games. And so now Ezra, on his choice, this is what he gets. Ezra already knows this. He already knows that I'd like to play this, and video games will be there probably tomorrow. And since we're quarantined, I'm probably gonna play a lot of video games anyways. But that's what that is. Apparently, I keep getting this low network. This is like the worst spot ever. How about now? Come on now. Okay, let's see if my phone is charged up a little bit. Let's see how charged that thing is. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna put you back in, and it's gonna tell me I got 10% in a couple of minutes. Okay. Yes. So we're gonna go until the phone dies. So the audio has just changed. I hope you notice the difference. If you don't, then this microphone is just absolutely useless, right? Hey yo. But yeah. So tell me, like, what you guys are thinking about pain. And oh yeah, so I gotta finish that story. So yeah, Emmanuel, when he was mad, he went to bed, but he kind of understood. He was pouting in the corner. So I was like, how do I give him a chance to watch comics? But I can't give him this chance. So I said, I'm like, man, you can't watch the comics. The only way you can watch these comics is if Ezra invites you over to the crib and we can watch comics together. It's up to Ezra though. And Ezra's like, hey, Emmanuel, come on over. I was like, yes. Because I was happy my son. I was like, he's understanding compassion. Because he knew that everyone, because that's something we do. We watch comics it just, not before going to bed, but whenever we're on like a vacation or something. And so right now, my kids are considering this like vacation because they're not going to school and they're not going to daycare. It's all those kinds of things. And daycare is just not running because, well, the corona. Hi, corona. Okay. So now I've done a lot of chatting. I'd love to hear from y'all. What has pain done for you? And as you're thinking about that, I'll tell you about this yellow tooth that I have right here that is going to get fixed. So I have this yellow tooth right here. And when Ezra was being born, okay, so that was happening. Ezra was being born. We get to the hospital, and as we're walking outside, it's kind of cold, whatever. My tooth is just hurting. I'm like, why is my tooth hurting so much? I couldn't even breathe. It was like, ah. And just all I could feel was pain, like here. Okay, in this general region, I felt pain, and so I just booked a dental appointment. Went to the dentist. Said, hey, yo, listen, my face is hurt, my teeth are hurting. Can we fix that? And the dentist looked at me. She's pretty cool. She's like, yep, we could take a look at it and see what it is. So we took an X-ray, and she's like, well, okay, good news. I got bad news. I said, what's the good news? We can fix you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What's the bad news? We're gonna have to do it pretty quick, and you're gonna need a root canal into that tooth. It's like, oh no. And she says the infection in your mouth is pretty bad. Like, huh? How was that? She's like, did you ever like get a puck in the face, or did you ever have like some kind of drastic fall? And I was like, no. Well, I've fallen, but nothing that would be like jaw related, broken, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, you did get braces, right? I say, yeah. She's like, sometimes when we get braces, especially when I got braces, sometimes they move the tooth too fast, or they have to correct, and it can do the same kind of damage over a long period of time as it would in a blunt force trauma, like instantaneously. And so my tooth was responding to that, and so she had to like took the drill in into my mouth. But I was numb in the face, but I just knew that was what was happening. Because she was like, ooh. If a professional ever goes, ooh, that means that it's something they've never seen before, and that means it shouldn't happen. So they're probably laughing. How you doing, Mom Rose? How you doing, Mrs. Aloha? Long time no see. But hey, just so you know, Miss Aloha, I can cook dumplings now. Just so we're clear on that one. But yeah, so like my tooth was because of pain. It was revealed to me that it was an issue, and sometimes pain reveals that there could be a potential of a worse issue coming, and that was what's happened. So what would have happened is that the infection would have gone, which was right here, was actually like kind of like this big, and then it was going to start to spread up, and then that would have been like all of my teeth. So I have a dead tooth, and it normally would be even, but I don't know what happened, but it chipped the tooth, and so the dead tooth. So I'm just waiting to get because my benefits cover some dental work, and so I'm going to wait for that. And once that gets re-upped, then I will get my tooth replaced, and so it doesn't look so like a dead tooth. Okay, we're talking about pain, mom, and I'm sure that you know about pain. So what is it that you would tell us today about pain? David Buffard says, so pain keeps us in humility. Yes, I would agree. Pain keeps us very humble because we can look at someone and say, you know, get up, like you're not hurt. And then when we get hurt, we want, instead of wanting someone to yell at us, we want someone to care for us, to have compassion on us. But I think when we have people, that's a good thing about friends is that friends can assess the level of your pain pretty quickly, and they know you, right? So my friend Thomas, which is one of the new guests that's going to be coming once we do these, we might have to pre-record it so it won't be live like it is right now, which is probably better for a lot of people because then I'm like actually talking to somebody, which kind of feels weird right now. Anyways, so we were playing football and I got like he hit, like I get hit, and this was early in my football career, so I have no shame. I can tell you this with no shame. I was soft. I was very soft early on in football, like super soft. I was super soft, and one day Thomas, my friend, just had enough, as he's always had enough in my life. And when he's had enough, he's about to tell me something. And he's like, "John, it's enough. You're not hurt. Now get up." And I was like, "Okay." It's the same with kids. You tell them they're not hurt when they're actually not hurt because you know them. You're like, you're not hurt. They're like, oh, okay. And so he gets up. So I get up, and like it came to, sometimes you say something and it comes back to you, but someone else is teaching you your own lesson. Well, he was like blocking for me, and I ran into his arm like because it was like in position. I didn't like do it on purpose or maliciously, but I hit him in the arm, and his elbow just got mashed. And he's like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." I don't know. I look at him. I started running back to the huddle. I'm like, "You're not hurt. Get up." He was so mad. Oh man, what a good time! Man, that was a good time. But hey, that's that. All right. So listen, we're coming up on an hour. So if you got questions about having to do with pain, personal story, random question, go ahead, fire away, and or not, and we will call it a night. But I know what happens usually when I say that. People start asking questions that I'm, or like have a discussion point. Like if you have it, throw it up a discussion point. Well, we'll go with that. That's cool with me. Um, Apparently my broadcast has been interrupted. I'm not sure why, but so be it. What? Wait, we good? Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah. Just seemed like everything was all off for a second there, but I keep getting a low network system up here. I don't understand why. How you doing, Mr. Costanzo? Am I saying it right? I hope I am. But let me know what's going on with y'all and how you feeling with this new thing that came out with the coronavirus. But well, with the new action that we're doing. You have people running outside, hanging out with too many people, thinking that they're actually social distancing when they're not. It is what it is. So yeah, Jennifer Topping. Hey, the Jennifer Topping is watching. Uh, Her husband used to be my drum teacher, which was absolutely awesome. By the way, back in the day. Now I can rip now. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. If you get to talk to him, Mrs. Topping, please tell Jason thank you for unlocking the musical. Um, I say gift not because it's a gift. It's good for other people to hear, but I say gift. Oh my goodness, I'm about to lose this. I say gift because what is that? Okay, I'm gonna try and get it in a better zone because I keep getting this weird signal from there. Okay, maybe that's better. That's probably better. That's better. Yeah. So I keep getting this. Sorry. Yeah. Just say thank you, Jason. Excuse me. And that's because Jason helped me learn how to play drums, and now I play drums more often. That's cool. Thank you, Jason. Okay. Um, David from Bouffard, you're on the air. What can I do for you? Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to figure out a different internet solution here because this is just, or it's just that everybody's using internet right now. I guess so. I guess that's what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just wrap it up in a couple of minutes here because I don't know why this connection is just so mashed up these days. But if you hear that, if you get to hear what I said to Jason, that'd be great. Um, but yeah, fire away a question dealing with pain. Is it necessary? Is it purposeful? You holler at me. I'm gonna tap out in probably about 5 minutes. Gonna twiddle my thumbs a little bit. See if you got some questions. Because I ain't got answers. I'm looking more for discussion points, by the way. See if you got discussion points. Let's good go. Not anything. Do you think Justin Trudeau is doing a good job? Do you think Legault is doing a good job? Do you think that the LCBO and the SAQ are essentials? Oh man, how far we have come. But I saw a post the other day that made me laugh. It said, if they start giving us districts, then the rebellion will begin. Soaking is a good way to pass through the pain. Yep. Soak it in an ice tub, soak it on the floor. It is a good way. How you doing, Mr. Coles? We're talking about pain. Is pain necessary? Uh, so if it is, holla, let me know, Mr. Coles. Is pain necessary? So weird waiting for delays. But we've got a solution coming, so we'll have podcasts, we'll have guests. It's gonna be great. Mr. Prasad, my friend, one of my mentors, you know him, Jason, the living proof Prasad, or Prasad, whichever way you want to see it. Why is this thing getting cut up so much? Amy, tell me something. Is pain necessary? Do you enjoy pain? I don't think anyone does. But Jason, I just gave you a shout out. So I don't know where you're watching this, but if you are watching it now, I called you Jason the Perso. I don't even know what I said. I forgot already. But it was good. So you just have to scrub back and find it. Okay, by the way, just so you know, on Wednesday I will be preaching from here as if I'm preaching at a church. I'll be standing up. I'll be bringing the fire. I'll bring the heat. So those of you that don't want to hear any religious message, don't tune in. Or those of you that want to hear a religious message, tune in. Okay. The pain of or this choppy video. What is not going on over there? What's going? I know. I don't know. Why is this thing so choppy? Let me. Is this less choppy if I go like this? I have no idea why my internet is so choppy. Let's try this. Is it like I'm like walking around my house for like a signal? Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna answer a question with a question. Giver, tell me what's up. It seems like I don't have any internet issue over there. Okay. Give me it. Let me know. Do you believe we are only given as much as we can handle? Yes. There's always a way. Now, when I say that in a spiritual sense, I say that because like we're given as much as it says like in the Bible for me, it says that we're only given as much as we can bear. But we might be given more than we can bear, but God is there in that process for me. And I reach out to him with prayers, with complaints, with questions that don't make sense to me. Do you believe that we only get as much pain as we can handle, or do you think we get more pain than we can handle? Now, I think that the pain capacity that we have also grows. I think the more that we experience life, the greater our pain capacity grows. So that's another thing. So at the end of our growth term, then maybe, right? I have way too many fidgety things here. Okay. This video has been so wickedly choppy, but I bet you lots of people are live streaming. Facebook's having some pain right now, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. Facebook is gonna have so much trouble with what they're gonna do. Their servers are just mashed up. Woo! Yeah. So get it together is what I'm trying to say. Get it together is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I answered your question, at least to my degree. Still working that one out because there's days I feel like I'm in way over my head with pain, and then somehow there's a solution that gets processed through this. Yeah. Salut, Star. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out why the internet here is just slapping and slacking so hard, but I don't know. But here's what I said. If it chopped up, here's what I said. I do believe that we are given only as much as we can handle, and then a little bit more. And the reason I say that is because in my faith, without God, I can't accomplish anything. And so if I can handle all the pain I have, that means that God is not a part of the problem. That means there's more pain that I can. I'm still trying to work this one out, but we as individuals are given as much pain as we can handle, and then after that, pain goes beyond uh, our capacities, or well, at least our foreseeable capacities. I'm always interested when I find someone who's had more pain than I've had, or different things that I'm like, how could you make it through that? And their capacity is there. I I don't think pain is a limiting factor. I think it's an enlarging factor. I'm trying to think of a question. If there was a pain that you could relieve, like that you could get rid of, one, what would it be? And then after that, I'm going to tell you the toilet story so we all can laugh because you could be crying a little bit for a little while too long. You know what I mean? Okay. So I'll let you answer that question if you have that. Um, and while you're answering that question, I'm going to let you know that we have a list of 5 new guests that are going to be hopping up onto here. They will probably be pre-recorded, so they'll be posted earlier in the day. You can watch them out throughout the day. They'll be probably under an hour because that's the limits that we have with the software that I have right now. But there'll be some pretty cool people. Cool. So if you're just joining us, we're just talking about questions. We're talking about how pain is necessary, and that question, is it necessary? And one of the questions I asked was, do you think you can get? Do you think one person only gets as much pain as they can handle? Uh, my answer to that one is yes and no. Yes, because at some point our capacities stop, and no, because then the pain goes past us. And when the pain goes past us, that's where, at least I believe, that we call out on God, and He comes and becomes the solution. The Christ is the answer for me. So that's where I sit on that one. And if I was to say it in a secular way, um, I don't think that we're given more pain than we can handle. I think that we just may have not learned the tools or the ways to cope with and deal with the pain yet, right? You know, I mean, some people hurt other people. People are malicious, and they hurt people in a way that they can't get back from until the right solution comes around, right? Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your 5-minute bumper zone. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Stop by, chat by. It's been good. Feel free to make comments. Feel free to direct message me on Facebook Messenger if there's a subject that you think I should talk about. And I really don't I don't have any issues with any issues. So I have an opinion on a whole bunch of issues, but that's my opinion. So holla back at me. You guys have been good. Peace. Oh, I gotta close off YouTube. Hey yo. End stream.